Hello, my name is Vita and this is Hippie Crow Hub. And today I want to share the very basics of crochet. So if you would like to start your very first crochet project, I would love to teach you how. So first of all, we gotta choose the correct yarn and correct hook. Okay, when you purchase yarn and your hooks, you will have numbers here. Okay, so you can follow that, and it usually on the yarn label it will tell you what size it's good for. But also another way, if that is too confusing, another way that I like to just measure it up is to have my yarn like this and then hook, and if you see it aligning with the tip without pulling it too hard, just gently, that will be the correct size for you. If the hook is really big or the yarn is really thin, it will be very difficult to do it for the first time. When you learn how to crochet and you get more creative, then you can experiment with wrong size hook and all that kind of different types of knitting, crocheting. Okay, so now that we have a yarn and a hook, you want to hold this tip towards yourself. Okay, so this will be your end, and you want to hook the other end between your two fingers and have it kind of ready like this, and then the other two fingers, and then the very first loop will go like this. You are going to twirl it around. Okay, well first let me just remind you that you have to hold your hooking hook just like you would hold a pen. Okay, imagine you're writing and this is the most comfortable way to hold. And other people do it differently. I'm sharing the technique that I have learned as a child, and I have used it my whole life and it's been very comfortable for me. Okay, so hook is here, yarn is here, and then you go up and then you twirl it, and you see you have this loop that is still not fixed, it's just sliding. Okay, so you're gonna make your very first chain by this. You gotta hold down. You're gonna hook this yarn and pull it through this very first hole, and now you made your first chain and you're gonna knot this end. So you're gonna tighten it, and you see now it doesn't slide around anymore. So this is how you start your very first step. Okay, now you hold on to this. The other end is here, so I like to hold it between my other fingers, the back, like this or like that. Either way it's comfortable for you. Here, then your fingers won't be too tense. So now we're gonna continue with the chain. You're gonna hook and pull through. That's called a chain. Okay, this is the very base of your crochet project. It doesn't matter what style or pattern you're going to do, you are always going to need a chain. Okay, now you're holding it here, hook and pull. Okay, you're moving up, hook and pull, hook and pull. Now you want it to be not too tight, because when your chains are really tight, then you won't be able to pierce your hook in. Okay, so you want it to be nice and consistent and soft. Okay, so let's make a couple more. Oh, and that can happen. Just go back in, hook and pull, hook and pull, hook and pull. Now, and you're gonna make this chain as long as your knitting should be. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little square because I'm only going to teach this different types of crochet stitches. Okay, so this is your little chain, and now the knitting will be going up here, back and back and back, and we're going to be turning it around. All right, so it's going to be a little square going up. All right, so let me show you now single crochet stitch. All right, so this last single chain will be your height. All right, so where you're gonna start your single crochet stitch is in that second loop right there. All right, okay, so you're gonna pierce this through on the first yarn loop. You're gonna hook, pull. Now you have 2 loops, and then you're gonna hook again and pierce it through the both. All right, and this is your single crochet stitch. So let's keep going. So you're gonna push your hook in, pull this out, and through both. And that can happen too. The yarn sometimes splits. Okay, so have this ready, nice and loose. Okay, push it in, pull through, and pull through. So you pierce the hook in, then you hook your yarn, then you have 2 loops, then you pull through. Okay, so we're doing a single crochet stitches. Okay, I'll just keep going all the way to the end. There we go. And the more you practice, the better you're gonna get. And you're gonna get faster and more consistent. And here we are. So the last one we did here. Now we need to go backwards, so we're gonna turn it around. Okay, we're just stocking little columns and lines. So we're gonna turn this around, and this is the bad side, but in crochet both sides are good and bad, because what happens that one line is front, another is back, and they keep taking turns. So then you get it like a check kind of effect. So here now will be the good side and the other one will be the bad side. So generally the whole thing, it has even sides. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet stitch. So we need to add the height here. So for double crochet stitch, you will use 2 chains to start. So 1, 2. That is to match the height of your continuation. Okay. So double crochet hook will have 1 twirl on the hook. Then you're gonna pierce it through. Okay, now some people pierce it through only 1, but you can also pierce it through 2. Okay, now this will look slightly different, but it's neither of them wrong or right. It's just the preference and the way you like your knitting to be. Okay, so I'm gonna go through both now just to have it steady. So you're gonna hook this, you're gonna pierce it through just like that. Then you're gonna hook your yarn at the back on your finger, and then you're gonna pull it through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Now you're gonna hook the yarn one more time. You're gonna pull through 2, and now you have another 2 on top. You're gonna hook again and pull it through. There you go. That's your first double crochet stitch. Okay, so let's do it again. Prep, push through, hook the yarn, pull out, hook the yarn, pierce through 2, hook the yarn, pierce through another 2. Okay, and let's keep doing it. Hook, push through, hook the yarn, pull through, hook the yarn, pull through 2, hook the yarn, pull through 2. Here we go, and you see the double crochet stitch is higher than the single crochet stitch. It has little gaps. Okay, let's keep going. Hook, pierce, hook, pull, hook, pull through 2, hook, pull through 2, hook, pierce, hook, pull, hook, pull through 2, hook, pull through 2. And let's finish this whole line. In the next one, I will show you how to make triple crochet stitch. But let's practice a little bit how to do the double first. Okay, so this is 1 and 2. The reason it's called double because this is a prep. There you go. And then you go 1, 2, if that makes sense. This is a prep. 1, 2. So you pull through 2 loops twice. Hook, prep, hook, pull. You got 3 of them. So you hook, first one through 2 loops, hook, second one through 2 hooks. And there you go. This is a cute little column. Now we gotta turn it around. At the end, we always turn it around. Okay? Now for double, oh, this is the double crochet stitch. So now for triple, now you either say triple or treble. I say triple, okay? So triple crochet stitch, you want for the height, the column to have 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? And this time around, instead of 1 loop, you do 2 loops. And then you're gonna pierce through. You're gonna pull through. Now the first will go through 2 loops. 1. Hook again, another 2 loops, 2, and 1 more through the last 2 loops. So that's 3. You see this nice tall column, way taller than double or single. Here we go again. 1, 2, pierce it through, hook, pull through, and then the first 2 loops, the second 2 loops, and the third 2 loops. This helps me to memorize it. Now, again, other people have different preference of how they say it and how they memorize and what distinguish the name of this type of stitch, but this is how I like to remember. So triple crochet stitch will have 2 hooks on there, but if you want to remember that there is 3, including that first, the last one, then that can be your memory marker. All right, so let's go in, get the yarn, scoop it out, and I'll hook, pull through the first 2, pull through the second 2, pull through the third 2. Here we go. 1, 2. Push it in, hook the yarn, pull through the first one. Hook, pull through the first 2, hook, pull through the second 2, pull through the third 2. 2 twirls, in, hook, out, hook, 1, hook, 2, hook, 3. 1, 2, in, pull through, 1, 2, 3. There you go. And let's finish this off. You will have time to practice. And as you practice, you get faster and better at it. Take your time. Don't be afraid to take it apart if you need to, or just continue. You can have a little learning square like this and practice all the stitches. Oh, look at that. You see, just as I'm talking about, don't be afraid to pull back. And what did I do here? Instead of making a triple crochet stitch, I accidentally made a double here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out this stitch and continue. 1, 2, in, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And here, one more in this one. Otherwise, it will not be even line. There you go. I usually do the double crochet stitch for granny square patch, so it's a habit that takes time to break. Okay, and now we turn it around, and what I would like to show for you now, you can choose any of these stitches and you can start creating variations, like for example skipping one. Okay, so let's go back to double crochet stitch just so that I can show you a variation. 1, 2. Okay, so now with the 2 I want a space in between each column, so I'm gonna do like a very kind of net-like pattern. Okay, so I have 2 here, but I need another one for this angle, so this is not pulling, right? So 2 for the height, and then I will skip 1, so I need to make another chain. Okay, so I will skip this and I'm gonna do a double crochet. Skip that, push it in, pierce through, pierce through. So this is double. So you see, this has enough space. So now here in between, I'll add a chain. And then I'll skip this and I will go in here. There you go. So you see, it's suddenly creating completely different pattern, but I haven't done anything new. So these will have little gaps, but if I'm skipping one here, I have to compensate it up here by adding a chain. Otherwise, the whole knitting will start shriveling up. Only if you're making a piece of clothing and you need it to narrow down, then you can get creative like that. But if you're just doing square, if you're a beginner, I would recommend you to just knit squares and then stitch it together. You can make a very simple top with squares, and then later you can get more creative of how you're going to make different shapes. Okay, but as you can see, and you can do this combination with any of these stitches, and you can see how it looks and feels, and what is your preference. Okay, so here I'm gonna do a chain. I'm gonna skip one, not here, it's here, to continue with the same pattern. And there you go, completely different look, but it's exactly the same what we already learned. We already learned double crochet stitch, and we learned a chain that was at the very beginning of the knitting. All right. And suddenly you already have so many different shapes and combinations this. And I'm gonna show you another little trick. Last trick of the day. Okay, we turn it around. We do 2. Now, you can either do the same pattern going back on the same columns, then you'll need the 3, and go back in here, then the columns, so I should do the double. I just did a single crochet, so here, double. You can do like square on top of the square, but what you can also do, here you'll need only 2 chains. You can also do, by piercing it in the middle, doing it off side. And like that is kind of even faster to knit. Then the squares are stocked up. And if you're knitting fast, you don't have to look for that exact hole. You just hook it right there and you keep going. So you get this net kind of look. So you see such simple changes, different effect. And here you will want to add an extra one so that you complete the pattern. All right, so when you go back up, you continue. All right, I think we will finish for now. And how to end this is also very simple. If you're done with your entire knitting, you cut and you do the very last chain, and there you go, and it's secured. All right, and then if you want to hide these strings, you can pull them through inside the knitting and you can keep going, and then they will get tucked in. And then you can trim it more, or you can just keep piercing it all the way around so that it's not hanging out. All right, so I hope this helped. My name is Vita. I'm a creator of Hippie Crow Hub. I am a crafty homemaker that loves to share all different types of activities and techniques of crafting, knitting, sewing projects, DIY cosmetics, and all sorts of natural things and self-made entertainment. Alrighty, I hope you have a lovely day. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!